I welcome you to another online session. Today, children, we're going to talk about the book Willy the Wizard. The author and illustrator of this book is Anthony Brown, published by Picture Corgi. Let's have a look at the blurb. Willy the chimp loves football and dreams of being a star player. But he doesn't have any boots, so he's never been picked for the team. Then one evening, Willy meets a mysterious stranger and his luck begins to change. Let's go back to the front cover so we can see this chimp was very in love, was very good at football. He loved football, and we can see that he is wearing these old-fashioned boots. We'll see in a minute why he's wearing these old-fashioned boots. So let's have a look. So here we can see Willy dreaming of being a star player one day. He is quite upset because he knows that he can't play football because he can't afford buying football boots. He is seeing the gorillas playing, and he is very sad. Here we can see Willy watching the others play. At the practice sessions, he used to go every week. He ran and chased, but no one passed the ball to him. He was never picked for the team. One evening, Willy meets this guy over here, his stranger. Can you see that there's something strange about him? There's light around him. And he's wearing this old-fashioned gear and these old boots. Even the ball is a bit different from the ball we are used to playing with today. And while he was walking past this old pie factory, he meets the stranger. And the stranger starts playing football with Willy. He passes the ball to him. This stranger reminds him of his dad, because his dad used to wear this type of gear and these type of football shoes. And they started playing together. When the ball came to him, Willy kicked it back, and they started passing the ball to and fro. Then something strange happened. The stranger took off his football boots and gave them to Willy. He didn't say a word. Willy stared at them. Then he went home and he walked slowly, taking care while he was carrying them not to step on any cracks in the pavement. He cleaned his shoes and polished them and took great care of them, even though they were old. And here we can see Willy with his usual morning and evening routine. Okay, so he washed his face, he brushed his teeth, he put his pajamas on, he went to the toilet, and he rushed to bed. Now, why is the author showing us this routine? It's something which we all do, okay, every day. And this is something which helps us to distinguish this chimp from the other monkeys, from the other chimps, because he was very similar to us. He had feelings like we have. So he wants to show us the human nature of this chimp. Okay, he did things like we did, and he had the same feelings. So he wasn't a wizard, even though the book tells us the title is Willy the Wizard. He wasn't a wizard. He was a normal chimp, and he did all the things that human beings beings do. Now he went to football practice. The others weren't very impressed, but he didn't take any notice of that. And he started playing. And when the others saw him play, they were amazed. He was fantastic on the pitch. Now here we can see the list of names for next Saturday's match, and Willy could hardly believe his eyes. There was his name on the list. He ran all the way home. And every day here we can see Willy practicing his shooting, dribbling, passing and heading. He got better and better. Willy was sure his boots were magic. So Willy believed that all this was coming from his boots, that he was good because he had these magic boots. Do you think that the boots were really magic? Let's see. Every evening Willy wore his boots and went back to the old pie factory. There was something curiously familiar about the stranger, which made Willy want to see him again. But he was never there. Why do you think was the stranger familiar? Maybe it was the ghost of his dad? Who knows? On Friday night, Willy went to his usual bedtime routine, and he started dreaming of disasters. Okay, does this happen to you when you're excited about something that you're going to do the following day? You start dreaming of bad things happening, nightmares. That's what Willy was doing. He was having bad dreams. He woke up. It was 9:45, so he was late. He ran. He threw his clothes on and dashed out of the door. He ran to the football ground. When he got there, the players were already there. But something bad happened. What happened? He had forgotten his boots. Oh no. What is he going to do now? Someone else gave him another pair, but it wasn't the same thing, because without his boots, he wouldn't win. What will happen now? Well, he was imagining that the game will be a whole disaster now. Everyone was laughing at him. He was a bit embarrassed. He felt angry, but at the same time, he ignored the others and started playing. And Willy was playing, and he was really good. He was magic. The ball seemed to be attached to him by an invisible thread. He dribbled past 3 opponents and sent in a perfect cross. Goal! It seemed that Willy could do no wrong. With seconds to go, the score was still 1-1. They were draw. And the opposition was mesmerized, like they couldn't believe their eyes. They were like spellbound. They were looking amazed. Now, he started beating all the players, and there was only the goalkeeper left to beat. Look how big and strong the goalkeeper is. Do you think Willy could score? Will he score? Let's see. Could Willy do it? He could! The crowd was spellbound as Willy conjured up the perfect shot. Goal! Willy the Wizard! Willy the Wizard! Chanted the crowd. Later on the way home, Willy thought about the boots and the stranger, and he smiled. So, let's see what we learn from this story. So, Willy believed that his boots were magic. In fact, when he played really well. But what happens when he forgets his boots? Does he still play very good? Yes, he plays very well. He plays very well even though he had forgotten his boots. This means that the boots weren't magic after all. It was he who was good at playing football. So this means that Willy was a star. He was a very good football player, but he didn't believe in himself. And this is the lesson we learn from this book, that we must believe in ourselves. And we mustn't think that because we maybe have done something wrong one time, this will affect our games, all our things, okay? So we have to believe in ourselves, okay? And this is a lesson that we learn from this book. Willy didn't believe in himself enough, okay? He was quite, let's say, he wasn't sure of himself, okay? He believed that the boots were magic. And when he had forgotten the boots, he said, well, now I'm not going to win. Another lesson that we learn from this book is that we must take care of our things very well. In fact, Willy managed to obtain these boots from the stranger. Even though they were old, he took great care of these boots. Okay, he polished them, he went home he walked very slowly, taking great care not to step on any cracks in the ground. So I'm going to ask you now some questions. So what was Willy's problem? What type of clothes was the stranger wearing? What odd thing did the stranger do? Mention 2 things Willy did before going to bed. When was the next match and what was special about it? Why did Willy go back to the old pie factory? At what time was the match? What did Willy forget on the day of the match? What was the final score of the match? And what do we learn from this story? So I'm going to give you the answers. So what was Willy's problem? He didn't have any football boots to play with. What type of clothes was the stranger wearing? He was wearing old-fashioned soccer gear, similar to the one his father used to wear. What odd thing did the stranger do? What strange thing did he do? He gave Willy his boots. Mention 2 things Willy did before going to bed. You can mention he washed his hands and his face, he brushed his teeth, he put on his pajamas, and he used the bathroom. When was the next match and what was special about it? Well, the match was Saturday and it was his first time he was playing. Why did Willy go back to the old pie factory? He went to meet the stranger. At what time was the match? It was at 10 o'clock. What did he forget? Obviously his magic boots, the boots he thought were magic. What was the final score? So first it was 1-1 and then Willy scored, so the final score was 2-1. What do you learn from the story? That we must believe in ourselves and never give up. And that was all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the book. I'll see you another time. Bye bye.